those of you guys who don't know, guy joining me today, absolute legend with the stash, Leddy, the TikTok caddy. What's up, bro?
Coach, what up?
How you doing, man?
Good, brother. How are you? How's my service? It's a little spotty over here, so I'm going to try my best.
You seem good to me. Everything coming through on your end?
Everything good
Never
so
mind.
far?
I just lost you for a sec. I got you right now.
You got me right now?
Yep.
All right, cool. What up?
What's up, man? How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. How was golf today?
It was good. We
Yeah.
battled.
There you go.
We battled. Shot 77, so not, I mean, 5 bogeys and an eagle on the front, so that's just
There you
kind of the
go.
roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
But no, it was good. It was an off day, so I wasn't on the grass looping, but back to it tomorrow.
Nice. So for everybody who doesn't know who you are, why don't you start by just talking us through your current situation, kind of where you're at, where you're living, and what you're doing.
So, for those who don't know, my name is Leddy. I'm a full-time caddy. I'm trying to make it to the PGA Tour. I'm down here in Florida at TBC Sawgrass. I'm just kind of doing resort golf as my daytime job, and then I loop for a professional golfer now, trying to pave our way to a PGA Tour card. So I'm down here with some sunshine and some pros, and we're just trying to make it the hard way.
That's awesome, man. I love it. Tell everybody a little bit just about kind of your background, where you grew up. I know you're in Florida now, but kind of what was childhood like? Where'd you
So
live? What
I
did you
grew up.
do?
So I'm born and raised in Annapolis, Maryland, right there, downtown Annapolis, next to the United States Naval Academy. My father is actually a retired PGA teaching professional, and I didn't really start playing golf until I was about 14, 15. I always had the ability to go and play whenever I wanted, and that's kind of the way that he introduced me to golf. To this day, he's never given me a lesson. I've never really had an official lesson. It was just kind of, go and figure it out on your own. And if you want to get into golf, go ahead and do it. So grew up in Annapolis, around golf, around professionals. Was looping, growing up. Went to college, didn't loop. Had an office job that I hated. And I just kind of seen this new wave of golf come in, whether it was caddies or teaching professionals or coaches like yourself, that were kind of able to make a living, I think, teaching golf the right way, not just kind of X's and O's. So, yeah, I took a risk and packed up everything and came down here, and so far it's going well. I'm in a lot better headspace than when I was working my office job. So far going all right.
That's awesome. How long you been doing the full-time caddy thing for?
I would say officially probably 6, 7 years, off and on close to 10. But I wouldn't say officially, taking it serious until about, 5 years or so, until I really wanted to kind of dive headfirst and get around some pros.
I gotcha. I love it, man. I know you and I have talked a little bit kind of about your long-term vision, your long-term goal, but talk me through that again, kind of where you see yourself, where do you hope to end up one day? Where's all this leading to?
Yeah, the ultimate goal is to caddy on the PGA Tour. And I think, I've had a ton of questions of, even people I've met, why do you want to caddy on tour? I've never met anyone that wants to caddy on tour. I think, as you know best, being around golf in that competitive environment, it's very addicting. So, I'm not the one hitting the shots, but being able to dial up a number and navigate a course with a true professional that trusts you, is a feeling like no other. It's the closest feeling that I could get to being a professional athlete. I had aspirations of trying to be an athlete in college. Basketball was my sport, but I learned quick that I wasn't going to make it there. So, yeah, I mean, caddying on the PGA Tour is just a goal of mine that I'm going to do whatever I can to achieve. And it's just such an addicting feeling. Even doing resort golf, when I get people that are decent golfers or aren't good golfers, that if I can change their perspective on how to course manage, and just tweak little things and navigate a golf course the proper way, it's a pretty rewarding feeling. And I think that's what what I like caddying about most. It's the most fulfilling job I've ever had, and just kind of, seeing that smile on people's face when they kind of learn a thing or two from you is pretty addicting. So that's the ultimate goal, is to get to the big dance, and we've gotten close a couple times, so just got to keep grinding.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. I mean, it's a similar feeling, not totally the same, but a similar feeling for me when I was a college coach.
Right.
It's a lot of the same things. You're doing a lot of the on-course help, and I agree. As you sit there and talk through shots with different players, and you're able to hear and kind of understand their vision, and then see them pull off a shot. There's not many more rewarding feelings. Like even for me as a player, like hitting that shot is amazing, but watching someone else go through that process for me is almost more rewarding.
And that's kind of, why my dad loved teaching so much. It's a little different, 35 years ago, the teaching pro job. My dad was kind of the guy, he was a club pro guy. So he was running events, he was teaching. Now I think the position that you're in is a lot cooler. And he even says it himself, if I was a teacher now I'd be, teaching out of the hitting bay. I'd be meeting with clients one-on-one. And it's turned into a really cool dynamic. And it's addicting to see someone kind of light up after the things that you tell them. It's awesome, man. It's just so much fun, and I'm really glad I'm not pushing mortgages like I was a couple years ago.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's amazing. Talk a little bit about kind of your recent stretch of caddying here. I know you've had a couple different guys you've been on the bag for. You've been in some pretty big events. So what's that kind of looked like for you the last 4 to 6 months, we'll say?
So recent stretch, I was on the bag. First guy I got on the bag with was Morgan Egloff, a guy actually out of Maryland. He's got a pretty decent following on here. Good player. His home track is the first track that I actually started caddying at. So we never crossed paths that way, but power of the internet kind of ran us into each other. So I went with Morgan. We went through stage 1 of Q school. Couldn't kind of get the scores that we needed, but it was a great learning experience, and Morgan's grinding on his game a lot. So, we've been in contact, and then I got pretty fortunate to run into the guy I'm caring for now, who's Derek Bard, at the University of Virginia, played in the 2015 USAM against Bryson DeChambeau. Lost to him, unfortunately, but, that second place finish earned him a spot at the Masters. So being able to kind of be on the bag for guys who played at Augusta under kind of the brightest lights was a really cool change. And we've been kind of going since. Got through stage 1, pretty easily. Stage 2, couldn't get the scores that we needed. And then we've kind of done some Mondays, whether it was the RSM, we kind of missed by a shot there. So Derek's a really good player, and he's giving me the opportunity to stay on the bag for him, and we're just trying to pave our way as best we can.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, we're about the same age, so obviously from afar, just watching some of the stuff he did while he was in college, dude can definitely play. He was a stick at Virginia for sure. He was up there competing
Yeah,
for quite a few years when he was in college, so he definitely has the game
yeah,
for it. What does
yeah.
what is your
It's funny when people ask me. Go ahead, my fault.
No, you're good. Go for it.
I was just gonna say, he's a guy that, when I tell people, yeah, I'm trying to loop, on the big dance, and they go, oh, well, is he good enough? Derek's I think the epitome of guys that have all of the ammo in the arsenal. It's just about putting it together week after week. So I'm really excited for him. He's such a humble guy. He hates talking about himself. He hates celebrating after a big putt. He's kind of the most nonchalant guy ever. And I think that's why we get along well, is I try to kind of tell him that we can kind of have some swagger out there and not keep Mr. Cool all the time. But, yeah, man, he's such a good guy, and I think he's got a really, really good shot. I'm just hoping not to slow him down.
No, that's awesome. What does your schedule with him look like coming up? Where are you guys going around to? Do you
I'm
have
not really sure.
Corn
We're
Ferry
kind of in
starts
a
or
so I think he signed up for Latin Q school. I'm not entirely sure. He's playing a ton of G Pro events, which is kind of how he's making some good money. G Pro events down here in Florida, for those that don't know, are just kind of professional events that you don't need full PGA Tour status in, you can kind of play and make some money and get starts in the PGA Tour events. So I know Derek's doing some G Pro events, and we haven't really talked coming up schedule wise about what we're gonna do. I don't know if I'm gonna do Latin Q school with him or not, but all I know is so far I'm still with him. So I don't know exactly event wise what we're doing next, but I know that he's out there practicing and playing, and I'm ready for when he needs me.
Good. That's awesome, man. Obviously, hopefully everything works out there for you and for him. We know that it's a tough road, but there's guys that make it every year, and so you just got to keep the nose to the grindstone for sure. Switching just a little bit, talk to me, because we're kind of going down the TikTok path as we move forward. I first found you watching some of the caddy skits you do, and I absolutely love those. But before we get to that point, walk me through just like a normal non-caddying for Derek day for you. Like when you're just going to loop at Sawgrass, what does that day look like for you? What's your schedule look like on kind of a daily basis?
The day-to-day basis schedule is, I get my schedule the night before. So, I have report times of when I need to go in at Sawgrass. And basically my life has consisted of going in, looping for people all over the country that come into Sawgrass, trying to give them the best experience possible. And then when I'm done, go work on my own game. I'm able to play here at Sawgrass at the Valley course. There's 2 tracks. So the Valley course I get to play every day for free. It's a good opportunity for me to work on my game. But as far as looping goes, it's resort golf. So I see Zach's another caddy in here. He's telling me I need to get to some private clubs. I do private club work, but looping at Sawgrass is resort golf. So you have people from all over the world coming in, and I like to poke fun. I'm kind of a tour guide out there because the caliber of golfer isn't the highest. But yeah, man, I'm able to be on the grass about 7 days a week and just kind of hone on my craft, whether it's a 30 handicapper or a scratch handicapper. I get to go out there and, show people the knowledge I have of the track that I call my home. And, yeah, man, every day is just looping and golfing. So it's kind of what I signed up for. And I really love meeting people. And I think that's what I love about caddying most is meeting these people that are excited to be on property or excited to meet me or, people that have never had a caddy before. It's pretty exciting to kind of be the first introduction to what a caddy is for these people, and I try my hardest to give them that $800 worth of service is what people are paying for now at Sawgrass.
That's awesome, man. That's crazy. What does a typical loop at Sawgrass look like for you? You just carry in one bag? Are you 4 caddying? Are you double looping? What's a typical one look like for you guys? I know it's a little different every year.
So most of the jobs are actually 4 caddying. This time of year, I think people are starting to catch on that walking is the better decision. Sawgrass is a car path only facility all year round. So you're lucky to finish in 5.5 hours. So, I'll get 4 balls, right? I'm a 4 caddy for 4 different people. And I have no problem with it, but it's just a lot of, shooting numbers and kind of holding the stick and cleaning clubs versus when I'm carrying, which is what I like to do best. If I get the single or double bag, I'm out there walking the track with everybody and showing them lines. And, I mean, there's all types of jobs. As far as trying to double, the stadium takes so long to loop. If I wanted to double, I would have to go onto the Valley course no later than 9 a.m. You can get around at 3.5 and then do a stadium loop, but usually it's kind of one and done. And usually when you're done after a stadium loop, you kind of got nothing left in the tank. So usually after a stadium loop, I go and work on my game.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. Talk to me a little bit about kind of the role that TikTok has played for you, whether that's in your daily caddy life or connecting you with some of the pros that you've connected with. What role has this platform or the social media world kind of had in what you've been doing recently?
God, it's so crazy, man. I would say probably about 5-6 months ago. I've had TikTok for about a year or so, and I always treated it as a joke. I looked at it, and it was just this app where people posted videos, and it wasn't really a persona of actual people. And I was kind of sitting there with my roommate, this summer when I was at Bayonne Golf Club in New Jersey, and I was just kind of telling him, like, I see all these, creators in the golf world And I like them, and some of them that I don't like. And I figured that I could just kind of tap into this world of what I deal with on a day-to-day basis and my golf knowledge. I think people would kind of get a kick out of. I'm a pretty sarcastic, dry guy, and the people that I run into are pretty funny too. So I don't know. I kind of just one day decided to post the initial video of hey, I'm a caddy. This is what I do, just to get people curious. And then I kind of started seeing the fire that it caught, and the interactions or skits that I post are real interactions with people that I get. And it's kind of caught on a little bit. I don't post a ton. I should probably post more than I do, but it's crazy the people that I've connected with on this app, from pros to teaching pros to just other creators in the golf space. And I like where golf is going on this app. I think there is some stuff that we can clean up, but TikTok is I treated it as a joke, and now it's kind of becoming a reality. The terms of the people I've connected with, I would have never met you if I never posted on this app. So it's pretty wild, the places and the people that I've met.
For sure, man. I mean, I think that's kind of the funniest thing for this for me. Like for me, I've been doing a lot of lives the last 2 months or so, and most of them are me playing golf, and those are the ones that get the views and get new people in. But as I've dove heavier into TikTok, like I didn't have a TikTok. I thought TikTok was stupid. And when I started my new job, I switched from college coaching to being a director of instruction at a private club. One of my coworkers was like, "Hey, dude, like you need to get a TikTok." He's like, I post golf videos and I suck and I have a bunch of followers. So you need to get a TikTok. It'll help you with your business. And so I was like half in at first and then started doing all the lives. And like the more people I've connected with, like I just came across one of your videos on my For You page and I was like, this dude's funny. And then we just got connected where we were commenting back and forth on each other's shit. And I was like, this dude's pretty cool. And now I'm going to Florida in a week and we've talked about even meeting up and trying to get together while I'm down there. So, I mean, I think it's crazy how big of a difference it can make and the people it can connect you with. And I really do think there are a lot of really cool opportunities when it comes to being able to just get connected with people that you never would have met through social media and specifically through this app, for sure.
For sure. And I think, that we have this sense of pride. You've been in the game a while and I've been around, my dad being a pro. You have this mold of golf where you want to see it go. And, there are parts of me that would like to change about what I see on this app. I think there's a lot of what I've noticed recently is, there are some good golfers on this app and they'll post, clips of their game and they're legit players. And, power of the internet, right? Everyone's just kind of shitting on them. I think the problem with that in golf in general is, golf is hard enough as is. What I've always told people, what my father's told people, golf is the hardest game you'll ever play. It's the game that'll never be mastered. Don't make it any harder on yourself. I think what needs to be seen on this app is just kind of a refresher of, hey, golf is impossible. The only people that are allowed to get upset at themselves are the professionals. The only people that are allowed to, I don't know, even critique themselves are the professionals. I think if you're a professional in this game, or even in the industry, if you're a PGA professional, I think that title isn't getting enough credit. And what I've seen from a couple people on this app that anyone can be a PGA professional or a teaching pro, and I couldn't disagree more. I think the work that it takes to, build a book of business, to grow the game and teach the game the right way, can be projected on this app in the right way, and I think people can learn from that. And it's a very intimidating sport, and I meet people from all over the world that are intimidated to hit chip shots, tee shots, and to be able to kind of sit there and just tell them, hey, the reason we're out here is to have fun, and we know it's hard, so let's just try to have fun and make it as simple as possible.
I agree, man. I agree. All right, real quick, before we get to our rapid fire, where I'll just kind of fire off some questions and have you answer back. But real quick, tell me, one, the caddy stories, the videos you post, are those real life situations or are those fabricated?
These are as real as they get. I mean, these are close to verbatim. I'm kind of a sociopath like that, where these interactions that I posted are verbatim interactions. Now, maybe my responses, right, that I say in the video, I won't say to somebody, but the persona or the character that I play, whether it's, the Mr. Johnson or whatever, these are as real as they come, man. And I run into them just about every day. So they couldn't be any more real.
That's awesome. I love it. And then real quick, your best caddy story. It can be a funny one or it can be a serious one with one of your pros. But like when you think about, I got into caddying and this is like a
The
memory
one
that
that
sticks with me.
I have two. The first one I think I had posted to TikTok, and it was kind of the epitome of why I caddy. I had a father and son come to Sawgrass earlier this year, and the father had terminal cancer. And I didn't mention that in the video, but the father was very sick, and he hadn't seen his son in close to 5 years. And they came out to Sawgrass. The son was probably 14, 15 years old. He played the round of his life. And afterwards, his dad came up to me and was, I haven't seen my son in 5 years. I'm deathly ill. I haven't told him yet. This was the best experience I've ever had with my son. And it definitely choked me up because, I was just out there doing my job, right? And this guy was just such a nice guy, and his kid was the best. It was just it was such a heavy moment realizing, this is why I do my job, and this is why I like my job, is to be able to, bring people together and just have fun on the golf course. So that's a really good story, having a father and son come out and they shoot the round of their lives. And it was just so much fun. And then you got on the flip side, guys that have money to spend, right? And they come out. So I had 4 guys come to Sawgrass. They play stadium. And these guys, early 40s, late 50s, whatever, tons of money. And the guy who was running the trip, multi-millionaire, they get to the first tee and he goes, "Luke, I need you to take a picture of us." Sure, no problem. Take a picture in the front of the clubhouse. And he goes, "Thanks, man. Oh, here, by the way, here's your tip for the weekend. My second wife thinks we're here to play golf. We're actually hopping on a private jet to go to Vegas. I'm out of here." So 4 guys, they made it tee time, went to the range, warmed up. I took their picture in front of the clubhouse, and they bounced out of there.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. All right.
Yeah,
We're going to get to
it was
something a
pretty
little
wild.
bit more. Yeah, we're going to get to something a little bit more fun now. We're going to call this Rapid Fire 9. So I'm going to fire 9 questions at you. Should be 1 or 2 word answers. First thing pops in your head. I'm going to ask of the people viewing while we do Rapid Fire 9, you guys get the rapid fingers going, all right? Let's get the likes going in here while we do this. All right, you ready, Luke?
Let's do it.
All right, lowest
I'm
score.
ready. 7 par 73.
Favorite club in your bag?
Hybrid. Cobra Baffler hybrid.
Favorite golf course?
Bayonne Golf Club in New Jersey.
Your favorite golfer?
Oh, man. I mean, I think Tiger's the safe answer. But if it isn't Tiger, it's Cam Smith.
I think I know your answer to this one, but it's the same 9 questions for everyone. You can only do one for the rest of your life, ride or walk?
Walk.
What's the best turn snack when you're on the course?
Oh, man. See, I go chicken Caesar wrap.
Love it. Rest of your life, you can either hit every fairway or make every putt from inside 5 feet. Which one you taking?
Make every putt inside 5 feet.
Question number 8, draw or fade?
Fade.
And question number 9, what's your dream foursome? And if you could play any course in the world with those 4 people, what would it be?
Ooh, dream foursome. Me, you, Vic Hovland, Shaquille O'Neal.
What course we playing?
Ooh, what course are we playing? Pine Valley.
What a group. I'd sign up for that any day of the week. Awesome.
100%.
Awesome. I appreciate it, bro. If you guys don't follow Luke already,
Of
make sure you
course.
drop the man a follow. Hopefully we can convince him to post some more content. He posts some really funny videos. We just need him to do it more. We do
Got to.
have as long as Luke's cool hanging out, we do have a couple minutes here where if you guys have questions, you can drop them in the chat, whether it's for Luke or myself, and we'll definitely answer them for you guys. So if you guys have any questions, put them in the chat right now. We'll go ahead and try to answer as many of those as we can before we hop off.
I got a ton of time. I know Zach. Zach's another caddy I've seen on this app. Seems like a really good dude. He said, "Wait." He said his best round was even par. Yeah. So Bayonne's par 73 from the championship tees. Plays close to 7,500 yards. It was the best round I ever had. I've had plenty of nines where I did 1 or 2 under, but Coach, it's hard, man. I'm a 5'6" handicap. I'm out there grinding. It's tough to get out there under par.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to string it together. Whatever your ceiling is, once you get to that ceiling for an extended part of a round, it's really hard to keep doing it.
When you see my swing, there's obviously a couple things that we could change to unlock some speed, and that's what kind of the next jump I'm trying to make is to really unlock some speed because I have the size. Um, it's just learning how to swing the right way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for you, we've talked about it a little bit, but for you, it's definitely trying to clean up the backswing a little bit so that we can get you in a position to be athletic, and then we can allow you to downswing sequence properly. That's kind of
Exactly.
the step that you're missing, and whether it's us meeting up in person or you sending me a couple videos, we'll definitely get to work on it, man. Because there's definitely potential to be unlocked there, which is good. It's a good thing to see.
I need it, man. I'm out here just fighting for my life.
I love it.
I can hang. I can hang though. I go out there and I play with Derek a lot, and his home track here in Florida is Palencia and St. Augustine, and I haven't had a driver in the bag for 3 months. I need a new shaft, so I've been playing with just 3 wood. So I played with Derek the other week with just 3 wood, and he got full ammo against me. I only lost by a couple holes, so we're out there fighting for our life.
There you go. There you go. I love it.
Zach
Uh,
goes,
I,
"What's my favorite type of person to caddy for?" My favorite type of person to caddy for is either the scratch or the club pro that understands the background that I come from. So if I get with another club pro that my father is maybe knows or is in that environment, just anyone that kind of knows how my world works, I like people that know that I'm on their team.
that's awesome. I think iRange had a
Who's your
question for
favorite
you
player to
too.
play for, Coach?
What'd you say?
Who's your favorite type of player to play with?
I mean, I think it depends, right? Like in an instructional standpoint, the best type of student is the one that actually practices. I mean, especially for me at a private facility, you find a lot of guys who think they can buy a golf game. And it doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
But for me as a player, like if I'm playing in a tournament, I just need somebody who plays quick. You can talk, you can not talk, you can do whatever you want, you can act a fool, but don't play slow. Just
Keep
don't
that
play
shit
slow, and
moving.
we're good. Yeah, exactly.
This is a good question from iRange. You could answer it too. How many shots could you save a 3 to 4 handicap around as a caddy? I really like this question because I run into a lot of these people. So it depends, right? It depends what track. If I'm with a 3 to 4 handicap at a track they've never played, I guarantee I could shave off at least 5 to 7 strokes just based off course management. If I have a 3 to 4 handicap, that means I get someone that knows how to line up properly and kind of hit a spot. What people need to start learning, and you can maybe attest to this, Coach, learning how to course manage, learning where your misses are is how you shoot lower scores. And lower scores means boring golf, but boring golf means lower scores. So I think a 3 to 4 handicap at a track that I know, I shave at least 5 to 7 strokes off.
I would agree 100%. I mean, I don't know if you do much or know much about Decade, but I'm a big Decade guy when I teach.
Yeah.
I use Decade myself. I used it with our teams when I was in college. I do a lot. I don't do as much as I'd like, but I do a lot more than other club pros when it comes to doing playing lessons. I mean, I probably average 3 to 4 9-hole playing lessons a week during the summer. So, I mean,
Damn.
I'm out on the golf course a lot, whether it's I do some in groups and I do some individually, but there's a lot of guys who, yeah, they can come, especially during season, they can come to me as a 12 handicap and we can work on fixing their slice, but they're probably going to suck for 2 weeks. Or
Right.
they can come to me 2 weeks before the club championship and we can say, this is how you manage your way around this golf course that you're about to play for 54 holes, and that 12 can swing the same swing and go shoot a 76. So,
And that's the crazy thing. Like, people, right? Oh, I need you to fix my slice. Well, I could, when I get people out on the course, when it's game time, they go, I have this slice. Well, I know enough in my arsenal to fix their slice the rest of the day, right? But they're so worried about fixing their slice, they're not worried about, well, okay, let's say if I slice it, where's my miss going to be? People are so worried about short term, and coaching, it's the long game. You can fix a slice in 5 minutes, but let's learn on, let's set a field goal. Let's learn where to miss. Let's learn, how to dissect where we lose shots.
yeah. No, it's a different type of game for sure. I mean, I've tried as hard as I can. It's really hard to break that mold, especially
Yeah.
um in the country club environment where you have a lot of older members, but I've tried to break the mold of swing coach and every lesson has to be on the range. Like I've tried to get people to understand my goal is to help you play better golf. And so that means we spend lessons only on short game. We spend lessons on the golf course. Every time we meet, it's not just on the driving range for 50 minutes. Let's hit as many balls as we can, or let's get you doing 7 drills to work on fixing your slice or whatever it is. Obviously, all of those things have their place and time, but that's not every single lesson I give, nor do I want that to be everything that I teach. So,
And that's one thing I've seen on this app. I'm not a teaching professional, but being around the game for a while, and I see people that are on the range just beating balls. Whether you've played baseball, basketball, football growing up, what you practice, practice doesn't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. When you're on the range, I go to the range for 2 or 3 hours at a time, and I'll imagine any hole that I want, and I'll go through my exact routine, right? So let's say I got a downhill lie or whatever the case may be. I know I'm on a mat and everything's flat, but put yourself in a game time position. Get used to being in game time situations, and when you kind of get to these situations, you're ready for it. I think when you're out there just beating balls, it's more of a detriment to you than it is helping. When you go and practice, work on these things that you'll be in the course. If you're someone that misses the green a ton, like me, go and chip for 3 hours because you got to get up and down, right? Go in, hit your long irons because if you slice it off the tee, you probably got 195 in. So let's go and hit the 5 iron a bunch. It's just work on things that you need in game time.
yeah, and I think when you look at like successful professionals, I think that's what they do so well is they know not only do obviously that's their entire job and they dedicate their life to it and they practice more than anyone else, but they also know what to practice.
Right,
And that's why they continue to get better.
right.
Awesome. Zach said he wants to play me for YouTube. I'd love it, dude. I'm not with Luke. I'm not in Florida. I'm in Indiana, but I'll be in Florida 2 different times this winter. And I do travel as well, so I don't know where you're at, Zach, but we could
I
definitely try to
think
get something set up, man.
I think Zach's out there in Arizona. I don't think he's at Silverleaf. I think he's at another track, but he's at one of those Troon courses, I think.
Nice. I'll be in Phoenix in March, Zach. So hit me up on Instagram. We'll see if we can get something set up.
Coach, we,
Sean
we
says I
got
hit.
we got to get something going.
I know. I agree. I'll be down for 2 weeks at a time, 2 different times. So
Cool.
Zach's at
Yeah, Zach
Silverleaf. That's
Zach is
awesome,
at
Zach. Yeah,
Silverleaf
that's
sick.
awesome. Sean says I hit the ball far, but I played my best golf just hitting 3/4 control shots. Yes, sir. It is about control for sure. It
Jack
is
says not a
about
caddy master
control.
guy. Yeah, I wish I wasn't a caddy master guy, Zach, but they allow me to travel all over the country. If I could be at Silverleaf with you, I probably would, but being able to travel back home, back east, I would. And Scottsdale is a dope. My cousin's the assistant superintendent at TBC Scottsdale.
That's awesome. All right, y'all. Well, I do appreciate it. Probably gonna wrap this up, but Luke, I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for hopping on. Let's keep talking. Maybe we can link up when I'm down in Florida. Everybody who watched, thank you very much. Like I said, if you don't already, hit that follow button. If you don't follow Luke, go show him some love as well. December 7th, the new hats will be available for pre-order, so don't miss out. All
I
right,
need
y'all.
one.
There you go. I love it. I love it. All
All
right,
right,
y'all.
Coach.
Appreciate you, Luke. Thank you, man. I'll see you later, boss.
I'll talk to you.